Okay, Tara, what kind of channel do you have on YouTube and what's it called?
I have a beauty and lifestyle channel on YouTube, and it's called Fashion with Ty.
Can you define your channel in 2 words for me?
In 2 words, lifestyle channel. Like, what is that? What should I say? Like a quality about it?
Yeah, just like anything that you use to describe it.
Creative and fun.
Okay. How did you make the transition from being interested in YouTube videos to being a YouTuber yourself?
I asked my parents if they would invest in my YouTube channel. So they bought me my first video camera and bought me my first makeup palettes and were like, if you keep doing this, when you make money, you have to pay us back. And I was like, okay, sure. So I just started creating videos in my bedroom and it just became super fun because I guess people started watching and commenting on it. So it just became really cool. I don't know who's calling me right now.
Did you have any sponsorships throughout your YouTube career? And who were they with?
The sponsorships I had, or my favorite ones, were when I was partnered with 9 West. That was really cool because they sent me 10 pairs of shoes every month, and they also took me on different sponsored events like New York Fashion Week, which was really cool, and had different events throughout the city for their store openings. So that was really awesome to be able to work with a brand in my channel. And I guess I got to meet really cool people like Nigel Barker and Alessandro Ambrosio and hang out with them, which was really awesome. And I partnered once with the Huffington Post. They funded a video channel that they were starting, and I created videos for them, and that was really cool to be able to have my content associated with their brand, which was awesome.
Who's the coolest person you met throughout your YouTube career?
Probably Nigel Barker or Kelly Catrone, because she was really funny. But yeah, no, those people were very interesting.
Is there anything you particularly dislike about YouTube?
I think just how commercialized YouTube has become. When I first started YouTube, it was very authentic. Everyone just was sort of making videos for fun, and it was sort of a hobby. And now, because it's become so commercialized, because companies realize that you can make profit off it, a lot of the videos are sponsored as well, so it's not as authentic anymore. And I think a lot of people join YouTube now to become YouTube famous instead of having an actual interest in whatever the category may be, whether it be beauty, food, fashion. It's just so commercialized. And the reason why people go to YouTube is because they want authentic, real advice from someone that could be a friend, not a celebrity spokesmodel. So I think just sort of the changing dynamic of what the YouTube space is right now.
So do you feel there's pressure to keep getting more subscribers and more views on your video? Do you think that's why a lot of YouTubers blog today?
Yeah, definitely. I feel numbers have become so important in terms of sponsorship deals, or in terms of your status as a YouTuber. So I feel it can be very easy to get caught up in trying to break different milestones on YouTube to become the most famous YouTuber. So that can also sort of ruin your content, because again, you're not really making authentic content. You're creating videos for how many views you'll get. So if someone sees that my boyfriend does my makeup gets 1 million views, then every other YouTuber is going to do that, and there's no original content anymore because everyone's just copying one another. So I think it sort of ruins the authenticity of the videos.
Did you ever do trending videos?
Yes. There was this time when everyone was doing videos on what beauty gurus do, and sort of making fun of beauty gurus. So yeah, I've done spoofs based off of what have been popular. But yeah, so I'm even a victim of it.
What's your favorite video you've made and why?
My favorite video I've made is probably... I used to have this, like, series called, like, What High Schoolers Think Of, and so it would be, like, what high schoolers think of Valentine's Day, like, what high schoolers think of, like, I don't know, like, random topics, and it was so funny because I'd get all of my friends involved in the videos just to get, like, different perspectives, and everyone really enjoyed those because it was, like, different perspectives, but I liked also, I mean, obviously just doing, like, tutorials and things like that just because I was learning, like, new ways of, like, playing with makeup.
And are you still making videos today, or is that kind of over with?
No, I'm not making videos right now because I'm in college, so I just, like, wanted to figure out, like, what I wanted to do with my life in terms of, like, how to use my asset, like, in my career after college. But I'm still in beauty, so I'm working at L'Oreal and was managing YouTube there, so I guess it sort of played out into, like, into, like, a different field.
While working at L'Oreal, do you have any plans to YouTube in the future, possibly for them?
Possibly. I mean, if they asked me to do it, I'd be interested in doing it. But I just sort of think I definitely want to, like, rebrand myself from, like, what I was when I first started creating YouTube videos when I was, like, in middle school. And so I think a lot of the content that people wanted me to create was still from when I was in middle school. And because I've, like, gotten older, I just sort of want to figure out, like, what new content that would be, like, whether it be on YouTube or, like, a website or, like, something like that to just sort of, like, manage my interest.
How did you start your YouTube videos? Like, how did you get into YouTube?
One summer when I was 13, I was playing tennis and I got an injury in my leg, so I couldn't play tennis anymore for the whole summer. And I was really bored at home, so all I did was watch YouTube videos. And I was in love with, like, so many beauty bloggers that were on YouTube. It was, like, the first time I'd ever, like, really gotten into makeup and beauty. And then I saw this one girl who was, like, able to go to Fashion Week and, like, was on the cover of 17, like, as a result of being in YouTube. And I was like, those are, like, my biggest dreams at the time. So I was like, all I have to do is buy a camera and, like, talk about makeup. So that's when I asked my parents to, like, buy me a camera. And I filmed my first YouTube video, which was, I think, 10, like, cool things that you can put in your room. It was so random. And then after that summer, I got, like, 1,000 subscribers. And I was like, wow, like, people are actually, like, sort of into this. And then a YouTuber I loved found my videos who had, like, many more subscribers than me, gave me a shout out. So then, like, in, like, by summer in 3 months, I had, like, 15,000 subscribers. So I was just, like, at that point really happy about, like, the audience I had. And so since they, like, were enjoying the, like, beauty and fashion content I was making, I just continued on from there.
How do you deal with negative comments on YouTube? Because it can be, like, pretty harsh sometimes.
I think in the beginning I was really not affected by negative comments, but, like, because, you know, you have so much feedback, it just made me want to, like, change immediately, like, every video that I was creating. So if someone was like, oh, your hair looks funny that way, then I would, like, change it to sort of, like, allocate it to whatever they thought looked better. And I think, like, as my channel got bigger, I just sort of realized that there are, like, always going to be negative comments. Like, you can never constantly change yourself for, like, these people who've only seen, like, 5 seconds of you throughout the day. So then I just started ignoring them because it doesn't really matter. I mean, like, you, at the end of the day, like, you have a lot more followers than you do people who, like, dislike your videos. So I just sort of, like, ignored them.
Have you ever been recognized in public, like, just walking out and about?
Yes. And it's so funny. I, like, in the beginning when I made friends as, like, a result of filming YouTube videos with, like, other really big YouTubers. Like, we would have meet and greets where, like, people would come to meet us, or, like, at different events like BeautyCon and things of that nature. Like, we would have meet and greets where, like, 200 people would come to just, like, say hello and take pictures with us. But there's also been, like, random times where I'd be shopping at Urban Outfitters and a random person would be like, oh, like, aren't you Fashion with Ty? Or when I was in Brussels with my friend abroad, like, there was a random person who had watched my videos. So yeah, being recognized is really funny, but it also makes, like, what you're doing so much more real because you're realizing you're speaking to, like, actual real human beings, not just, like, numbers on a computer screen.
Did you host your favorite like meet and greet with?
I probably like my first ever meet and greet, which is when I did it in New York City with like some other beauty bloggers, and we did it like on like 59th Street in Columbus Circle, and that was really cool because it was my first ever one. So it was awesome to be able to get like hear from them and like take pictures with them, and yeah, that was definitely my favorite.
All right, thank you.